Alright folks, let's have a chat about something that's been quietly bugging a lot of us car enthusiasts. How modern cars are starting to look and feel much cheaper. From plastic-heavy exteriors to overly simplified interiors, it's like manufacturers are pulling back on the premium touches that made their cars feel special. If you've been feeling the same, trust me, you're not alone. Stick around, because we're breaking this down piece by piece, model by model. It's Drive Unlimited on the line. Let's start with the new BMW M5 G90. Now don't get me wrong, it's a beast when it comes to performance, but design-wise, it's missing some of that magic. Remember the F90? Its grille wasn't just a grille, it was a statement, crafted with a blend of luxurious metals that gave it a bold, refined presence. Fast forward to the G90, and what do we get? A mostly closed-off grille made entirely of black plastic. Sure, it's aerodynamic and functional, but it's hard to ignore how it feels more economical than elegant. And then there's the badge placement. On the F90, the M5 badge was integrated into the front fender in this sleek, streamlined way that felt purposeful. Now, it's tucked into a barely noticeable plastic detail on the rear window. It's a small thing, sure, but these small things are what create the big picture. When you start cutting corners on details like these, the car loses a bit of its soul. But BMW isn't the only one slipping. Mercedes has fallen into the same trap with the E63 W214. Take one look at its grille, and you'll see what I mean. It's all plastic, no chrome, no steel, just a plain, unexciting surface. Contrast that with the W212, where the grille was a work of art, combining ABS plastic with a polished chrome finish. And let's not forget the iconic star logo. On the W214, it's reduced to a flat printed circle. On the W212, a big, bold 3D star that looked and felt substantial. These changes might seem minor, but they add up. The difference between the W214 and W212 isn't just materials, it's a mindset. One feels designed to impress, the other to save a buck. Alright, now let's step inside, because if you thought the exteriors were getting cheaper, wait until you see the interiors. Think back to the early 2010s. Mid-level cars had cabins filled with leather panels, rich wooden trims, and solid metal accents. Even without sitting in them, you could tell they were crafted with care. Touch anything, and it felt premium. Today, unless you're shelling out for a Bentley or a Rolls, you're looking at glossy black plastic and faux materials pretending to be premium. Take the Audi A6, for example. The last generation was the epitome of understated luxury. Matte wood trim, brushed aluminum, and a cabin layout that felt cohesive and upscale. The new generation? Glossy black plastic everywhere. Sure, it looks shiny under showroom lights, but it's a fingerprint magnet and lacks the tactile richness that made the older models so appealing. If you've been inside both generations, you know exactly what I mean. The new model isn't bad, but it's just not the same, and that's the point. It's not about being bad. It's about losing that extra level of refinement that used to set these cars apart. Now, back to the M5 for a second, because I have to mention the LED lighting situation. I get it, LEDs are cool, they're modern, efficient, and customizable. But let's be real, they're getting out of hand. In the G90, the interior is practically a light show. Red LEDs flash across the cabin when the hazard lights are on, and even in their default state, they're overly bright and distracting. LEDs should be subtle. A thin strip here, a soft glow there. What we're seeing now feels more like a nightclub than a luxury car. And speaking of trends that have spiraled out of control, let's talk about screens. Oh, the screens. They started small, offering a little extra functionality, a GPS here, some radio controls there. But now, screens are everywhere, replacing physical buttons and knobs entirely. Let's take a walk through Mercedes' S-Class lineage. The W221 had the perfect balance. Leather, wood, and metal dominated the cabin, with a single, well-placed screen providing the necessary information. It was bold, elegant, and timeless. The W222 leaned into modernity with a slightly larger screen but still maintained that same balance of luxury and tech. Then came the W223, and it all fell apart. A massive central display now dominates the interior, housing every function from climate control to drive modes. And don't even get me started on usability. Adjusting the temperature by tapping through menus while driving? No, thank you. Remember when you could just turn a knob without taking your eyes off the road? Those were the days. Just look at how driver-focused this design solution is in the BMW 8 Series. The chrome-finished vents, the tactile physical buttons, some of which are crafted from aluminum, make everything not just functional, but luxurious. What's the problem with continuing to make interiors like this? This isn't progress. It's cost-cutting. Plain and simple. Designing and manufacturing physical buttons takes time and money, so why not just cram everything into a single touchscreen interface? It's cheaper for the manufacturer, but at what cost to the user experience? Bugatti got it right with the Chiron. No massive screens, no distracting LEDs, just a timeless design that prioritizes quality and simplicity. Yes, Bugatti is in a league of its own, but their approach proves that you don't need a tech overload to make a car feel modern. Sometimes, less really is more. And look, I'm not saying screens are inherently bad. They're useful and in some cases even necessary, but they should complement the design, not overshadow it. A perfect example? Retractable screens that disappear into the dashboard when not in use. It's a solution that combines functionality with elegance, and I'd love to see more brands adopt it. At the end of the day, cars are more than just machines. They're experiences. They're meant to evoke emotion, whether it's through the growl of an engine, the feel of a perfectly sculpted interior, or the way light dances off a polished grille. When manufacturers cut corners, they're not just saving money. They're stripping away the magic that makes a car feel alive. So what's your take? Are you okay with these trends? Or do you miss the days when every detail felt intentional and premium? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's keep the conversation going. And check out our previous videos where we discuss the upcoming models in detail.